pathology. So there are some specialists, the medical specialists called as pathologist. Have you ever heard of this pathologist? Phys- Physician or pathologist. So pathologists are the one which are dealing with like general diseases. So pathogens are the disease causing agents. Okay. Now on like whole organism is not capable of producing a disease. There is a specific thing in the organism that can produce disease, and that specific molecule is called as antigen, or you can also say antigen. These are the like smaller parts of pathogens which can actually produce disease. Okay, let's say bacteria has a cell wall, bacteria has ribosome, bacteria has cytoplasm, bacteria has DNA. So many things are present in bacteria. But all these organelles cannot produce disease. Only a specific thing can produce a disease. Okay? So that specific thing might be DNA. So DNA is the antigen. Okay? Whatever part is causing a disease, that part is known as antigen. Done? Done. Okay. So when they move in our body, it activates the white blood cells. Is it so? Okay. So white blood cells can do two things. One, it can produce antibodies. Have you ever heard of this word? Okay. So antibodies are complementary to antigen. They are just opposite to antigen so that they can destroy them. They get attached to antigen and destroy them. How do they destroy them? By chemically. They chemically destroy them. Antibodies chemically destroyed antigens. Okay. What are antibodies made up of? They are made up of proteins and they are Y shaped like this. This is the structure of antibody. Okay. Shall I repeat? Okay. Pathogens are the one which are the disease causing organism, like the whole organism, while a part of pathogen which causes the disease is called antigen. When the pathogen enter the body, the antibody get attached to the antigen only and destroy that antigen chemically. Okay. Antibodies are made up of proteins and they're Y shaped. Till here we have learned, so this is what we have learned so far. Okay, in immune system. Okay. Now let's move to other things which are more complex. Okay, this is the general thing that you have told me in the start. Okay, let's go into the detail. So when pathogen enter the body, it faces different or it has to pass different barriers. There are physical barriers and then there are chemical barriers. We have so many bacteria around us all the time. We know this. You must know this. We have lots of bacteria around us. Okay. All bacteria cannot enter into our body. They have to face the different barriers. Okay. What can be the physical barrier? Yeah. Your skin. The very first thing. Skin is a physical barrier. Okay. What can be the other physical barrier? Okay. For example, your ear has an opening. Bacteria can also enter through your ear, but your ear has something which stops the entry of bacteria. Oh, there is something else. Mucus. Okay. Then your nose has a mucus as well. What else is present in nose? Because you are inhaling air, air has lots of bacteria. So a mucus and hair. So these are the physical barriers. So, okay. What about eyes? What stops them from entering the eye? It's a tricky one, by the way. Tears. So this is basically the first line of defense. Let's say it's a first line of defense that act as a barrier that tries to stop something. Okay. Let's say they are stopping the pathogen to enter, but still, if you eat something and it has a pathogen, the pathogen enters your body because you have eaten it now. It enters your body. So, if you have eaten it, what can act as a barrier? We have learned this, we have revised this in the start of the lesson. Exactly. What is the chemical barrier of your digestive system? Hydrochloric acid in your stomach. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the second line of defense. The second line of defense is this white blood cell, basically. The white blood cells uh, move and then they kill the pathogen. This is the second line of defense. Okay. Let's talk about it in detail. Okay. When we talk about the second line of defense, for example, you have some wound, you got some wound or a cut, what would happen? That that can let pathogen enter, right? Okay, what can be done then? You might feel inflammation over there. Okay, good. Then, yeah, then what will happen next? Exactly, exactly. Okay, so that would be done by clotting the platelets. Okay, have you ever heard of the name platelets? Okay, you said so. Okay, I missed it. Sorry. Okay, so this is your second line of defense. Okay, now you have told me about the antibodies. Let's talk about how our white blood cells work. So basically, there are two responses of white blood cells. One is to produce antibody. This is done by lymphocytes. Cyte means cell. Lymphocytes, these are the cells that produce antibodies. And the second type of cells are like phagocytes. Phago mean to eat. Now these cells directly eat the germ or the pathogen. They engulf the pathogen. Engulf mean they surround it and then eat it. And then they produce enzymes to chemically digest them. Okay? Okay. Um, then there are other two type of cells in white blood cells, which are B cells and T cells. These are the B lymphocytes or the T lymphocytes, let's say. B cells and T cells. Okay, why they are B and T? Because they are specific to their area where they are produced. Okay, that's why we have named them B and T. These are their locations. Okay, the B cells, these are basically the antibodies one because these are type of lymphocytes. B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. These produce antibodies and then they attach to antigen and destroy them. Okay, the T cells are also known as helper cells. What do? They help B cells to kill the pathogen or antigen. They're just helping hands, which help B cells to start their function, let's say. Okay, or they can also directly kill. So it's because they are producing from a different site. These are producing from a different site, a different position, a different location. So they can be two types, the helper T cells and the killer T cells. Helper cells would help B cells, while the killer cells directly kill if they want to. Have you gotten this point? Okay. Let's say, okay, these are the locations. B cell, they are produced within bone marrow. What is bone marrow? No, 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 no. The B cells are the ones. Okay. So, um, the B cells kill the antigen by attaching to it and destroy them. Okay. Then the T cells are basically, you can say, are producing from another position, and then they are two responses by T cells. Let's say is some other organ. Okay. It can also, if they are helping B cells, these are called as helper T cells. But if they are directly killing the antigen, then they would be called as killer T cells. T, T. Okay. So, okay. Let's talk about the wax. Okay. Let's talk about the aftermath. Okay. Once they are produced by your body by the direct contact of antigen, not all lymphocytes are destroyed. There are some which remain in your body as memory cells. So whenever that specific pathogen enter your body, they will fight with that antigen. Okay, let me explain it in some other by giving some other example. Okay, there was okay, in 2020, at the end of 2019 and 2020, in the start of 2020, there was a outbreak of pandemic, which is COVID, right? Okay, so you know about the COVID. Okay, so at that time, because the body do not have any response to that specific virus, it results in the death of many people around. Okay, so your body needs time to recognize pathogen and to produce specific antibody. Let's say if you have A pathogen, then your body needs B antibody. Okay, it's the opposite. Okay, your body, the lymphocytes are not that much smart. They're not that much smart. They need their time to recognize A and produce antibodies. This recognition process can be of 3 to 4 days. Okay, but if the infection becomes really high, then because it was a new pathogen for the body, your body doesn't know anything about it, so it took time to produce antibodies and to fight against that virus. Many people survive as well, right? Why do they survive? Because their lymph or their immune system is really strong. That lymphocyte, they quickly, or they actually manage to prepare the specific antibodies to antigens. Now every antigen has a different antibody, keep this thing in mind. Every antigen every antigen has a specific antibody. Okay, like antibody for virus would be different, antibody for bacteria would be different. Okay, but now after like 6 years, if COVID attacks you, it cannot it cannot produce that much disaster in your body, because your body has memory cells now. Once your body gets used to producing a specific antigen. They store some of the cells and memory cells. As soon as the COVID enter your body, they immediately, without any break, they produce that antibody to destroy the pathogen. You haven't? You are lucky then. Um, so basically, wait. Now we have developed the immunity. We have developed immunity already. We have memory cells. Have you got the vaccination? Then you have memory cells. Okay, vaccination basically contains half dead cells. Those are same pathogens, but their antigen is weak, very weak, that cannot produce disease in your body. It's an antigen, but it doesn't affect your body. Okay, what will it do? Because our next topic would be vaccination. So vaccination basically activate the immune system to produce specific antibody. This is the role of vaccination. That's why we got vaccinated, so that there should be memory cells, that whenever that virus attack us, our body has a prepared system. Okay, and that prepared system is memory cells. Okay. Okay, so when we talk about vaccination, vaccination is the one which produces immunity in our body by activating the immune system and producing memory cells. Okay, we'll stop till here because it's a very quite a comprehensive it's a comprehensive process, so we need to like break it. Okay, so far what we have done in the immune system, that there are pathogens, that are the organism as a whole that can produce disease like virus, bacteria. Okay, but not the whole part is able to develop a disease, only a few, some part of it, and that is called as antigen. Now, when these pathogens try to enter your body, they will face different line of defense. The very first line of defense are the physical barriers, which includes the skin, mucus, hair, tears, different parts. Okay, okay. If by any chance you have taken that one, so or eaten or ingested, your ACL in the stomach would try to kill them. Okay, but still, if the pathogen is quite strong or the antigen is quite strong, and it can still manage to produce a disease in your body or can affect your body, then there is a second line of defense, which is white blood cells. Now, white blood cells are of two types. Oh, it got erased again. The white blood cells are of two types. One is the lymphocyte, other is the phagocyte. The lymphocytes, they produce protein Y-shaped chemical which is known as antibody, which is very specific to antigen. They are for like that antigen only, not for the others one. There is another type which is called as phagocyte. Phagocyte can directly eat up that antigen. They can directly eat the pathogen. Okay. So when we talk about lymphocyte, there are two type of lymphocytes. One is the B cell, another is a T cell. B cells are produced by bone marrow, and they can produce antibodies that get attached to antigen and destroy them. T cells are of two types, the helper cells and the killer cells. They can either help B cells or directly kill. Then the lymphocytes result in the formation of memory cells which remain in your body. So whenever that pathogen enter in your body, make up they made up the antibody within no time and save your body. Okay. Okay, so this is all for today.